Today, I'm going to be talking to you about risk oriented traffic inspection, our approach to doing selective inspection. So in the past years, you have noticed that there's been a huge increase in compromise, specifically from IoT devices. So it's not a matter of if, it's more of a matter of when your network can be compromised. So inspection or any kind of security enforcement is going to be critical. So let me talk about some of the challenges today. Every traffic is treated equal, meaning any traffic that hits the gateway with your inspection turned on, all of them get inspected almost the same way without really considering the different type of risk that it imposes in your network. Similarly, just because all traffic gets inspected, it's going to have an impact on your throughput because all of them have to go through this advanced inspection of every packet. That's going to have a problem. And if you feel that, okay, I'm going to write, I want to do each of them independently depending on their risk, now you have to write complex policies. So I'll tell you how we approach this in different ways. So you as an administrator, we want to give you the full control on what you want to inspect and how you want to inspect. We give you an option by creating a bunch of different what we call as buckets. So let me create something called a safe bucket and drop in some of my entities in there, and then I'm also going to create something called a risky bucket, and I'm going to drop some in there. So according to your expectation, you basically say that any guest who's coming onto my network, they just simply get onto my Wi-Fi and they browse the internet. They're not touching any of my sensitive resources, so I don't really care about them, so I'm going to put them in the safe bucket. On the other hand, CXO, like a CMO or a CEO or over, they are high profile, which means for bad guys, they are kind of the target, and they have access to a lot of the intellectual property or sensitive information. So it's preferable that I'm going to scan them. So I'm going to put them in this risky bucket. And similarly, I have a port scanner, which is kind of looking for bad stuff. There's no real reason to inspect them. So I'm going to put them in the safe bucket. And similarly for these guys as well, because they have endpoint agents, I'm going to put them there. On the other hand, IoT devices, some of you have best practices where you feel that because it's an IoT device or an operational device, you don't want that to touch the cloud unless it's absolutely needed. So these also have impact to your operational aspects of it. Like for example, your critical control systems, if they fail, they have a problem. So I'm going to put that in the risky bucket. Similarly, if I look at the applications, again, I can classify them as a safe application or a risky application. Something that is unknown, I'm going to put them in the risky bucket, and anything that is safe, I'm going to put it in this bucket. So it's basically a matter of just classifying them into different groups and calling it whether it is safe or risky. And you make a choice on how safe or how risky you think in your environment it is. So once you figure this out, now that you have figured out what you're going to inspect, you just simply apply a policy to that and say that anything that has risky, I'm going to apply a security policy on that, and I'm going to inspect them. What this means is on the system, anything that's coming from this bucket, the system will know that I'm going to take any of this traffic as it goes through the network or the gateway. I'm going to send it to the IDS IPS engine, do the inspection before it goes out. If it is going out external bound to the cloud, you can send it through the secure service edge, SSE. Or if you're still going through the WAN to your other sites, you can send it through the Aruba Net Conductor. Aruba Net Conductor takes care of your role-to-role based policies, whereas your secure service edge takes care of CASB functions or other DLP kind of functions or ZTNA-like functions, and SWIG-like functions can be taken care of there. So now anything that is coming from the safe bucket, because it's considered safe and you didn't apply a security policy, all it does is it goes inside to your basic firewalling functions and your routing functions, and then they go off similar to this into your SSE or your Aruba Net Conductor. So if you look at the benefit standpoint, we are considering securing your infrastructure and your network based on specific risk profile by giving you the flexibility to write your own policies or classify your own way. And this way, it simplifies and abstracts and eventually extends all of your functionality, not only for security policies, but for other things as well. You can read more about this risk-oriented traffic inspection on our website and the product documentation as they come out. Thank you for listening in.